Tesla numbers are out. Elon Musk and the team have released the new Tesla numbers around deliveries and production. I'm going to take you through the numbers here. It's bad. It's not a complete disaster, but it's bad. Okay, I'm going to take you through the numbers. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen with the stock price, what's going to happen with kind of the company moving forward and those sorts of things, and kind of my perspective as somebody that's held this stock for many years now. At this point in time, hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thanks for being subscribed. Let's get straight into it, guys. So total deliveries for Q4 came in at 405,000. That's a big mess. Total production came in at 439,000 vehicles. So, one of the biggest gaps we've, to be quite frank, ever seen in terms of kind of production and deliveries there. Total annual deliveries came in at 1.31 million. Total annual production came at 1.37 million. Deliveries are the closest approximation of sales disclosed by Tesla. These numbers represent a new record for Elon Musk-led automakers, so we do got to keep that in mind. It's very important. This is a new record for Tesla, but then again, Tesla's expected to report record after record after record, right? A growth of 40% in deliveries year over year. However, fourth quarter numbers fell shy of analyst estimates. According to a consensus analyst estimates compiled by FactSet as of December 31st, 2022, Wall Street was expecting Tesla to report deliveries of 427,000. So basically, Tesla missed delivery expectations by about 22,000 vehicles. That is no small number. That's a very large number, okay? And if you do the math on, 22,000 vehicles, run the math on that. And let's say an average selling price of 50,000 or 60,000 or something like that. It's a very, very large amount of money. Estimates updated in December included FactSet consensus. Now, the numbers range from 409,000 to 433. The reason that's important is Tesla basically just missed even the lowest expectations analysts had on average, or just in general, right? The lowest number an analyst had on Wall Street was 409,000. So for Tesla to come in at 405 is even worse than the lowest Wall Street analyst was expecting, okay? Now, there's something I have to mention here that I think is absolutely massive. And this bothers me in such a huge way, okay? Because the fact is, Wall Street, they knew these numbers ahead of time. There's no doubt about it, okay? And this is something that I think frustrates a lot of people with the markets is just, Wall Street knew these numbers. That's why they sold the stock off. All this other smoke and mirror stuff around Twitter and blah, blah, blah. It's all smoke and mirrors, okay? At the end of the day, Wall Street knew these numbers. I don't know how they knew these numbers. I don't know how they put the pieces together. But clearly, they knew that it was going to be a large miss. And that's why they sold off this stock so heavy, down 32% plus in the past month. The bottom line is Wall Street knew this was coming. That's why they dumped this stock in aggressively, okay, extremely aggressively. That's an insane sell-off in a matter of a month, especially in usually a Santa Claus rally month, December, to dump that stock like they did. It definitely shows that they knew the numbers that were coming, essentially, okay? In its third quarter shareholder presentation, Tesla wrote, over a multi-year horizon, we expect to achieve 50% average annual growth in vehicle deliveries. The rate of growth will depend on equipment capacity, factory uptime, operational efficiency, and capacity and stability of the supply chain. Now, the one thing that bothered me that Tesla did not put in there, okay? The one thing, you know what it is? The economy. The bottom line is, if the economy gets hit, it hurts all companies. And they didn't even put that in there. And it's like, that's the one piece that I feel like they're just missing there, because at the end of the day, like, Tesla counts on, people buying their vehicles, right? And people buy less vehicles if they're in a tough economic situation, if interest rates are considerably up. Like, these are all things that matter in a significant way. And so I think Tesla sometimes, likes to think of itself as those things don't matter, but absolutely they do matter at the end of the day. And I've been talking about that for months, honestly, right? Q4 2022, as far as the numbers more in depth here, deliveries came in for S and X at 17,000 as far as deliveries go. Model 3 and Y came in at 388,000 for deliveries here. 9% subject to lease accounting, 4% for 3 and Y here. As far as full year, 66,000 deliveries of S and X. You see how small those vehicle numbers are compared to the 3 and the Y. The 3 and the Y really run this company for now. And 1.24 million deliveries for 3 and Y. Very, at the end of the day, we got to remember these are impressive numbers for Tesla, even if they do miss the short-term estimates here, okay? Now, keep in mind, this is the same quarter last year, 296 deliveries, 3 and Y, versus 388 they just reported. So if you run the math on that, that's about, a little over 30% growth, right? Which is still impressive. Like, literally, just think about this for a moment. If there was almost any other auto manufacturer, very impressive numbers, very impressive. But this is Tesla, and this is Elon Musk's company. And Elon Musk has his company growing about 50% per year, right? And so if you come in with a 30% growth rate or so, right, somewhere around there roughly, that's not cutting the mustard. That's a massive, colossal miss. You're talking about potentially 20 percentage points of difference there, right? So that's just way, way under what Elon's expecting and a lot of investors in general, right? And the other thought process that goes is this just the start of just much weaker numbers coming over the next, let's say, 2 to 6 quarters here, right? Now, some people try to blame this on, China and lockdowns and all those sorts of things. And let me tell you this, okay? Bunch of BS for reasons, okay? At the end of the day, 2021 was messier than 2022 for Tesla. 2021 had to deal with shutdowns. 2021 had to deal with all types of supply chain problems. At the end of the day, Tesla found a way to get the job done, okay? So the bottom line is 2021 was a messier year than 2022, so it doesn't have anything to do with that stuff. It has other issues going on here, okay? Much other issues. And a big, huge component of that is what you're seeing in front of your face right now. This is a Fed funds rate. The Fed has gone absolutely insane in 2022, right? And there's a lag. There's a lag on basically, you would think like right away it affects the economy in a negative way when it comes to like Fed funds rate, moving rates up. No, is a lag. There's at least a 3 to 6 month lag roughly in terms of that. There's a huge lag here, and it's starting to hit companies like Tesla. It's going to hit a whole lot more companies. It's funny, I saw this. I went onto Google, and the first thing I saw was this. Toll Brothers, the top luxury home builder, is a buy for 2023. And I just started laughing. I was like, come on, man. Come on, man. Have you seen what the Fed's up to here? Have you seen this? Because what we're starting to feel is the effects of what the Fed has done, essentially. The stock market obviously got out in front of this, and that's why the NASDAQ pushed down 30+%, which is a ridiculous number, the most insane decline we've seen since the great financial crisis for the NASDAQ, right? The stock market definitely got out in front of this, but this all has a lag. And what we're going to feel the effects on for the next 3 to 6 months, if not the next year, is the Fed going absolutely crazy and raising rates at the most aggressive pace in the history of the Fed. And this is going to hit companies like Tesla. It's going to hurt their numbers. There's no doubt about it. It's already starting, okay? It's clear as day. When you look at those Tesla numbers, it's clear as day. Tesla doesn't have a production problem. Tesla has a deliveries problem now at this point in time. This goes to show you, this is how fast the Fed raised interest rates, Fed funds rate in 2022. 6,000% increase. You've never seen a number like that ever in the history of the Fed. They went absolutely crazy, and the reason is obviously they got to try to kill inflation, which is obviously damaging the entire economy here. And so that's a huge factor we can't just overlook, right? But at the end of the day, this is going to come with damage. The Fed's been very clear about this, right? They basically want to kill asset prices. And they've obviously started to do that in a massive way in 2022. They want to kill the economy. They don't say it like that. But if you really listen to Jerome Powell speak, that man wants to kill the economy. He talks about unemployment's going to go up. And these are sacrifices we have to make for the greater good, essentially. And at the end of the day, if you want to bring down inflation, you're going to have to see recession. That's the bottom line when it comes to that, right? And that will negatively affect automakers, including Tesla, okay? Next up here, Cybertruck. This is very, very, very important. People sometimes think Elon doesn't have, let's call it another card up his sleeve, essentially, right? Well, Elon always does, okay? Cybertruck's coming in 2023, and this will help out numbers in a substantial way. Now, if you remember when they launched Model Y, they launched Model Y early, okay? They launched Model Y much earlier than expected. And I believe the reason they did that when they launched Model Y, as somebody that was a shareholder at that time, there was some at least worries about Model 3 and some demand for Model 3, and could they keep up kind of the pace of growth. And so next thing you know, Model Y got launched, and it got launched earlier than expected, which was a surprise, because up until that time, Like Tesla usually just missed like like when they were supposed to launch a vehicle, production ramps, they missed many times. But this one they were ahead of schedule. So Cybertruck, everybody's looking at the back half of 2023. Don't be surprised if they get Cybertruck up and rolling sooner rather than later. Okay, do not be surprised whatsoever. If Tesla numbers are struggling, don't be surprised if Elon gets that baby rolling much quicker than a lot of folks expect. Okay, now I want to give a message to everybody out there that's a long-term investor in Tesla. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you're a long-term investor in stocks, it doesn't go like this. That's like in a perfect world, just more and more every year. It's just so beautiful, okay? At the end of the day, it doesn't work like that. It's like boo, 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 boo. It's dramatic. And a stock like that, like Tesla is dramatic, right? And so it's very important over this next 6 to 12 months that long-term investors don't lose sight of the long-term opportunity in a company like Tesla based upon short-term numbers. The Fed raising rates at the most aggressive pace ever, that's not sustainable. That's not what they're going to do most years, okay? And we will get through that. We will get past that. And the economy will grow again in the future, but we got likely a tough next 6 to 12 months in front of ourselves, if not longer than that. We'll see in terms of kind of company numbers. It's going to be a struggle for a lot of companies over this next year in terms of their numbers, especially a lot of these big companies that held up pretty well in 2022, including Tesla. They're going to have some of the weakest growth that they've seen in a long, long time in 2023. And that's just important. We all keep that in mind, but don't lose sight of the long-term opportunities in a lot of these companies. And it's not just Tesla, it's other companies as well. And if you lose sight of those long-term opportunities, man, you're gonna look back in future years and definitely regret, like, oh man, I lost sight of this stock and this stock and this stock, right? And all over short-term numbers. So do keep that in mind, guys. So appreciate everybody joining me as always. I made a free course for the new year for you guys. If you haven't got to check out that will be pinned comment down there, and you can enter in your info and I'll text it on over to you. Hope you enjoy that. Much love as always, and have a great day. Oh, one last thing, Tesla stock price. I think it'll have a slight negative on Tesla stock price. Sorry, I forgot about this. A slight negative on Tesla stock price, but I think most of it has been priced in it now at this point in time. Most of the damage in regards to Tesla stock price has been done. So, these numbers in the stock can continue to get hit over the next, let's call it few months, but the most of the damage has been done now at this point in time when it comes to Tesla stock. The damage now will be very small compared to the damage that was done. Appreciate y'all. Much love and have a great day.